Hey guys, welcome back to Mondays at the Museum. I'm Carrie and I'm here at the Anna Bemis Palmer Museum in York, Nebraska. So it is Memorial Day, and today I just want to pause to take a moment to thank everyone who has served, who is actively serving, and everybody out there that is fighting for our freedom and keeping us safe. Um, I know that when you think of fashion, you don't necessarily make a leap to military uniforms, but I am proud to say we do have several military items currently included in this display, a century in style. And I am going to show you those today as a way to honor them on this Memorial Day. And at the very end of this video, I'm going to make a really big announcement, so stay tuned. Okay, so these first few items are in our vows and veils section, which I know you don't think of military uniforms when you think of weddings, but actually it was pretty common if you were in the military to wear your uniform when you got married. So these first few ones are actually going to be side by side with the bride's gowns. So let's start off with this World War II Navy uniform. It belonged to Ensign in the U.S. Navy, James Francis Price. He went by Frank. He served in the South Pacific and was discharged in October of 1945. After the war, he returned to York to farm. Right next to him, you will see his bride's gown, Beverly. They got married June 19th, 1943. Here we have another World War II uniform, this time in the Army. It belonged to Glenn Fenning. If you toured during our military exhibit, you know that he was part of the 35th Division in the 134th Volunteer Infantry, and that's like the York boys, and they went to Normandy and everything. They were all over the place. And next to him, you will see his bride, Elaine. They got married February 2nd, 1947. Moving on, we've got this Korean War uniform. This is a Marine Corps uniform for Staff Sergeant Joseph Roddy McCarthy. He served from 1951 to 1954, and after the war, he came back and worked for the post office and farmed. Next to him is his bride. Her name is also Elaine, and they got married August 18th, 1956. Here is another Korean War uniform. This time it is for the Army. It belonged to Daryl Henderson. He served in the U.S. Army from 1953 to 1955. And then next to it is the bridal gown of his bride. Her name was Bonnie. They got married June 2nd, 1957. And then finally, in our Around the World section, we have this World War I Army uniform, complete with boots, that belonged to our founder's husband, Orlando Gray Palmer. He was buddies with Teddy Roosevelt, and he was a major in World War I in France, and he was in charge of the 320th Machine Gun Battalion, and this was from 1917 to 1918. As major, he was in charge of 105 officers and 3,000 enlisted men. And those were our military items that are currently included in this display. Like I said, I know you probably don't immediately drop right to military when you think of fashion, but it is really cool to be able to include those and then to be able to honor them today. I feel like it's more than just fabric, it's more of like a symbol of sacrifice, so it's really cool for those items to be included. And now for the grand announcement mentioned earlier. So for those of you that have been following the museum for quite a while and have been attending our programs, this is back by popular demand. And for those of you that are new to us, I hope that you come and attend it. But I'm super thrilled to announce that on July 26th, no, I better get this date right before I announce it here. July 26th at 3 p.m. at the City Auditorium, we will again be hosting the First Nebraska Volunteers Brass Band. These guys are Civil War reenactors. They wear Civil War uniforms and they play Civil War era instruments with Civil War music. They give a history lesson. It's a group of educators out of Omaha. They're just really awesome. The last time that we hosted them, we had 120 people show up, and that was a snowy weekend in February. So I'm hoping a nice weekend in July we can get about double that. So let's pack the auditorium. Let's show the support. Again, I know military and fashion, you don't think about it. But because they are the reenactors and they're wearing the uniforms and they'll give the history lessons and they'll include notes about the uniform and the gear and everything like that, we felt that it was fitting. And also, ever since they stopped playing, I've been hearing, when are we going to have these guys back? So really excited to announce that. Again, July 26th, it's a free program at the City Auditorium from 3 to 4 p.m. All right, we'll see you next week.